Don't worry. No, I'm kidding. Mesdames et messieurs, je vous remercie d'être présents pour le 3e événement en direct de l'UFC à Paris. J'aimerais tout d'abord remercier la Fédération de MMA française et la Fédération française de boxe pour leur immense travail au cours des derniers mois afin que l'événement de ce soir soit un succès. Je voudrais également remercier nos partenariats de l'Accord Arena, RMC et vous tous pour votre soutien. L'UFC Paris est l'une des principales destinations de calendrier mondial des événements de l'UFC. Nous sommes ravis du développement constant de notre sport à travers le pays. Au nom de Dana White et Lawrence Epstein, merci beaucoup. I'm going to start with the performance of the night's bonuses that go to Duncan, Faraz Siam, Morgan Charrière, and Brian Battle. The attendance tonight was 15,449, sold out, and the gate tonight was $4 million USD. We open the floor to some questions.
Good evening.
Monsieur.
I have a question. First question is, recently the UFC signed Reinier de Ridder, former one champion, double champ. In the past, we had a lot of great Dutch fighters, I mean. How do you look at Reinier de Ridder and his future within the UFC?
You know, to be completely honest, I don't know who he is. It's the type of question that, you know, if Dana was up here, it'd be perfect for him to answer, maybe Sean, Mick, or Hunter. But outside of my area of expertise, so we might have to move to the next question.
Sure, no problem. The next question is, the UFC had a lot of European events, great European events, great atmosphere, huge fan bases. Are there any plans to do more events spread across Europe, for example, Spain, the Netherlands, Poland?
Yes, there are. Dana's been pretty vocal about Spain. We're trying to figure out the right timing for that. Nice to see some Spanish athletes do well, not only tonight, but we've got a big event coming up in a month, I guess, in Abu Dhabi with Taporia. Always looking at Poland, love coming to France every year. We're in the UK at least once a year. We'd love to get back to a number of other countries, but, you know, number of things that need to decide.
Thank you for your time.
No problem. Yes, sir.
Álvaro Colmenero for the ABC Spanish newspaper. I have a question for Danny Barrett. What's your opinion about the performance tonight of Danny Barrett?
Pretty strong. You know, one of the things that we've noticed with athletes where the sport is, I don't want to say nascent, but it's sort of in the earlier stages of growing, where, you know, you get a couple athletes, and in this case, we've got 4 or 5 Spanish athletes that have gained such a large following. And it's great to have Taporia leading the way, but to have other athletes sort of coming behind him that are just adding to this groundswell, the support for their country, for their nationality in the UFC, it means a lot. And that's why, as I mentioned in the first question, that, you know, Spain's something that Dana's been talking about. We've been looking at different venues. It's sort of tough to find a proper venue for our sport in Spain, but it won't be long until we're there.
And are you thinking in some arena of maybe Madrid or some date?
Yes, all to the above. Possible arena, possible city, possible date. Nothing to report now.
And which is it?
Well, nothing to report now. I mean, if I was breaking this news, it wouldn't be me, and it probably wouldn't be on this stage.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hey, David.
Yes, sir.
That was your third event here in Paris. Do you think we can have a pay-per-view soon in France?
It's a good question. I think the short answer is yes. We can absolutely have a pay-per-view here. It's going to depend on a lot of things. I mean, our pay-per-views, as you know, would need to be in the middle. I mean, I think the main card would probably need to start at 4 a.m. I don't know if we've looked into the municipal bylaws, whether it's possible to have an event late at night, what the other considerations might be, but Paris is absolutely a city that could support a pay-per-view. 3 events in a row that have been completely sold out. Every event that we've come here, the gate has got bigger. Every time we've come here, we've had more French athletes. I think the first year that we were here in France, 3 years ago, probably had 4 or 5 French athletes. Last year, we probably had 7 or 8. Now we had 12, I believe, under roster, 9 of which were competing tonight. It's very much a destination for MMA fans around the continent and of course, throughout the country. So, yeah, it's a city that could support a pay-per-view.
And just about the UFC events in France, do you think we can have a date in another city, like Nice for Manon Fiorot, maybe?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. You know, we had a number of individuals from different regions in France coming to see what all the noise was about. So it's absolutely possible. We've said it from the very beginning. There's a number of great destinations in this country that we could take an event to, and Paris has been great 3 years in a row. So hopefully.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dave right here. Emil Sardarian from Stand 'em Up. I'm curious, what did you think about this card, and how would you rate this? Because we have seen submissions, some good knockouts, some nice decisions as well. So how would you rate this card?
The card was excellent. Listen, always anticlimactic when it ends in the way that it did. It's too bad. Starting off the main card with the knockout from Faraz and the knockout from Morgan, that sort of set the tone for the main card, and then you entered into really, 4 other solid fights. I think the hype coming in with Moicano and BSD, it's too bad that the fans didn't get more than just a round, and well, I guess 2 rounds. 2 rounds?
2 rounds. Yeah.
2 rounds. 2 full rounds.
Yeah. So somebody just asked about a pay-per-view possibly being made in Paris, in France at least, and you said that if a pay-per-view was going to be done, it would start, the main card would start at around 4.
Yeah, depending on the time of year with daylight savings, it would need to be a 10 p.m. Eastern start time in the U.S. for the pay-per-view main card.
Yes, but there are pay-per-views that are done on European time. So why, just like last time?
For the past few years, sorry to cut you off. For the past few years, we've just done 1 a year in Abu Dhabi. That will likely continue, but we will likely not have any other pay-per-views for the time being. Things can always change, but for the time being, we'll likely not have any other pay-per-views that are local prime time here in Europe other than the one that is in Abu Dhabi.
All right, thank you for the clarification.
No problem.
Yes, over here.
Yes, sir.
UFC hasn't been to Scandinavia in 5 years. Do you consider going back to Scandinavia?
I would love to go to Scandinavia. Yes, we would love to. Nothing to report now, but it's, when we sit down and we go through, and we're doing it right now, talking about our 2025 schedule, mapping out what 26 would look like, the topic of conversation always involves Scandinavia.
There's a lot of, especially Swedish fighters in UFC, Josefin Knutsson, Andreas Gustafsson-Payne. We still have Alexander Gustafsson. Was any of these fighters considered for this card?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for your support this week. We hope you enjoyed the show. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Jan, Erko? Hij heeft gewonnen? Erko gewonnen, maar ik zal Erko meer omdat die bij het vroeg het dommage. Erko champion, knockout. Echo kampioen, man. 4e ronde. 1 gekke low kick. Klaar. Ja, Johan, j'ai l'impression que c'est le Brésilien qui jouait là. Si j'étais sur le direct. Il n'a pas lâché. Mais ouais, là, il a lâché. Ouais, après, voyez.
Nasruddin, over here, man. Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Great fight. First round, a bit less, but after that, you You showed the war, you showed heart, you showed everything. Even at the last bell, you even wanted to throw out a punch more. It looked amazing. What's up next? Definitely in your head, you have something going on for the title, but what's up next?
Magnifique combat. Le premier round était un peu compliqué, mais après, tu as montré non seulement que tu avais du cœur, que tu avais des compétences, que tu avais des techniques, et même jusqu'à la fin du combat, tu as essayé de finir le combat. La suite, forcément, on va parler de titre, mais pour toi, c'est quoi exactement la suite?
Quelle est la suite pour moi? C'est de revenir rapidement déjà. Et si le titre, le comment on dit, l'opposition pour le titre.
C'est le contender.
Ok. Ben, ouais. Si la ceinture se présente, désolé, c'est la fatigue. Si la ceinture se présente, je prends, mais je vais pas attendre. Ce que je veux dire, c'est que je vais pas attendre une éternité pour combattre pour la ceinture. Je vais rester actif et voilà, et de revenir le plus rapidement possible.
Of course, the following is going to be to fight for the belt. But if the belt's not here, I want to keep being busy, and I want to fight anyone in front of me into the ranking.
I think as fans, we would love to see you fight Sean Strickland again. That would be an amazing fight. It was close, but I think that would be an amazing fight. Is that the fight you would be open for?
En tant que fan, bien évidemment, on a envie de voir le combat contre Sean Strickland. Est-ce que c'est un combat que tu serais ouvert à effectuer?
Bien sûr, avec grand plaisir. C'est même plus excitant que pour la ceinture. Let's go.
Of course, it would be a great pleasure for me to do it. It's even more exciting than the belt to fight against Strickland and to take my revenge against him.
Спасибо, Насредин.
Не за что.
Nasruddin right here. So looking at the rankings right now, DDP will probably be fighting Strickland. Right here, brother. DDP will probably be fighting Strickland. Whitaker is fighting Khamzat. So the only guy in front of you that's left is Israel. Is that something you'd be open to?
Il dit il y a déjà 2 combats de bouquet pour tes adversaires devant. Le seul qui reste, c'est Israël Adesanya. Est-ce que tu serais prêt à l'affronter?
Avec grand plaisir. Je l'ai dit et j'ai vu que les médias ils en parlent, les fans sont chauds et ça pourrait donner un très beau combat. C'était ici qu'on parle.
I've seen a lot of media talking about it. It would be a great pleasure to go against him, and I think it would be a great fight.
Brendan Allen said that he would beat you in your own game, but as we saw, you outgrappled him in 2 of the 3 rounds. So, were you looking for that, trying to outgrappling to beat him in his own game?
Brendan Allen, il avait dit qu'il allait te battre sur ton propre jeu, mais ce qu'on a vu, c'est que c'est toi qui t'es imposé sur son jeu à lui. Est-ce que c'est quelque chose que tu cherchais à démontrer?
Absolument. Je voulais démontrer que ma ceinture marron JJB, c'était une vraie ceinture. Je l'ai obtenue à la MK Team et ce n'est pas rien. Donc voilà. Et puis la petite erreur que j'ai fait au premier round et qui m'a bloqué au sol, il fallait absolument que je rattrape ça et que je montre que je suis pas mauvais au sol, quoi.
Absolutely. I wanted to show that my BJJ brown belt that I got from the MK team is not something that is nothing. It's very important to me. So I wanted to show that my ground game is very good. And because I did a small mistake in the first round, but he blocked me on the ground during the whole round, I wanted to show that my wrestling, grappling skills on the next 2 rounds.
One more over here, Nasruddin. Before your fight, there was some things circling around the internet that Brendan Allen posted. He was talking about how he got blood tested, urine tested, and so on. It looked like he was searching for something towards the French people and the French media. How do you look at that?
Tu sais, il est en train de parler du post qu'il a fait sur les tests antidopage qu'il a eu juste après la pesée. On a l'impression qu'il cherchait peut-être à te titiller avec ça ou qu'il cherchait déjà quelques excuses. Toi, qu'est-ce que tu penses de ça?
Qu'est-ce que je pense de ça? C'est il y a pas mal de Français aussi qui ont été testés. Moi, je m'en souviens quand j'ai combattu la première fois à l'UFC Paris, on était dans exactement la même situation. Voilà, c'était pas vraiment une cible qui était fixée, quoi. Il prend au hasard et faut accepter.
This is called random drug testing. So it happens to a lot of French too. It happens to me on the first UFC Paris. happens to Kevin Jousseau and to Taylor Lapillus yesterday at the weigh-in. So it wasn't target on him. He just believed it was target on him.
Again, great fight. Spasiba.
Спасибо.
Nasruddin over here. First of all, congratulations to your performance. Is there any disappointment it wasn't the main event, your fight?
Premièrement, félicitations pour ta performance. Est-ce que tu étais déçu de ne pas être le main event de cet événement?
Est-ce que j'ai été déçu? Non, pas vraiment. Pas vraiment. Bien sûr, j'aurais aimé être en main event. Maintenant, c'est pas cette fois-ci, ça sera la prochaine fois. Et Saint-Denis, il mérite ce main event. Hein. Vous avez vu le guerrier, il est prêt à mourir dans la cage. Et ce qu'on aime, ce qu'ils aiment les fans, ça donne le show.
No, I wasn't really disappointed by not being the main event. Benoit Saint-Denis was the main event, and you could see he's such a warrior. So, you know, it's always an honor when you're fighting with Benoit Saint-Denis along the side of Benoit Saint-Denis, and he showed once again tonight that he's a true warrior.
And the middleweight division is more exciting than ever. Who is the biggest threat to you think?
The biggest. Il dit que la division, ta division, est l'une des plus excitantes à l'heure actuelle. Quelle personne est le plus grand danger pour toi dans cette division?
Il n'y a pas de danger. Il n'y a pas de danger dans cette division. Je vous ai montré que j'étais un combattant complet, que ce soit au sol ou en striking. Donc voilà.
There's no danger in this division. I mean, I showed once again that I'm a very well-rounded fighter, and I can fight striking, I can fight grappling, I can fight wrestling, I can do it all.
Would you be able to step in if something happens in the fight between Robert Whittaker and Khamzat Chimaev next month?
Est-ce que tu serais prêt à prendre au pas, à rentrer dans le combat si jamais il y en a un qui se blesse entre Whittaker et Khamzat le mois prochain?
Ça dépend qui se blesse en vrai. Ça dépend qui se blesse. Hein. Khamzat, on se connaît. Et je pense qu'on s'est déjà entraîné ensemble. Et si son opponent saute, de venir en tant que... ça se fait pas quoi. Par contre, si c'est Khamzat qui saute, on y va. Let's go. On refuse pas.
It depends of the opponent. We already trained with Khamzat. If it's to go against Khamzat, I don't want it because we train together. But if it's to fight against Whittaker, let's go.
Merci.
Merci.
Félicitations Nassourdine. Avant, l'UFC nous a dit qu'ils étaient pour faire un événement numéroté en France. Vu ta position et celle de Manon, est-ce que tu serais partant pour une super carte numérotée en France où il y aurait 2 title shots, que ce soit pour toi et pour Manon sur la même carte, sans donner d'ordre de qui serait main event ou non? Mais est-ce que ce serait une carte qui te
bien sûr,
ferait plaisir?
Bien sûr. Belt ou pas belt, je suis toujours partant pour combattre en France, de revivre à nouveau ce que j'ai vécu aujourd'hui. C'est comme j'ai dit, c'est quelque chose d'incroyable et voilà.
Et tu penses que ça pourrait, honnêtement, ton ressenti, c'est quoi, qu'il y aura encore un combat avant la ceinture, ou tu penses que ce sera la prochaine chose qu'on va te proposer?
En vrai de vrai, je sais pas du tout. Je pourrais pas te dire à chaud comme ça. Mais une seule chose est sûre, c'est que je vais pas commencer à attendre la ceinture. Je vais combattre rapidement, je vais rester actif et voilà.
T'as aucun dégât là sur ce combat, il y a aucune blessure. Tu pourrais combattre potentiellement dans combien de temps?
J'ai vraiment aucune blessure. Là, je peux te faire un shadow, un sprawl si tu veux. Tu le verras de toi-même. Mais non, je peux revenir rapidement là, vraiment. Merci.
Еще один вопрос на русском, Насурдин, если ты не против. Ты, конечно, выходишь во Францию, но ты дагестанец. И вопрос такой, ты чувствуешь поддержку из Кавказа и из России на тебя?
Да, конечно. Конечно, очень много сообщений мне приходит с Дагестана, с Кавказа, с России. И очень приятно. Спасибо большое. И вот я держусь за Францию, но не забывай, откуда я. У меня кровь дагестанская. И так.
Спасибо, от души.
Спасибо.
So I asked if, because he comes out for France, but he's Dagestani, and I asked if he feels this Kafkas and the Russian support from their fans, and he says, yes, of course. I get a lot of messages, so thank you guys. I know I'm coming out for France, but I know where I came from.
Salut Nassourdine, Lorenzo pour Actu MMA. Félicitations pour ta victoire. Je voulais te demander, en gros, là, je trouve que tu t'es vraiment amélioré sur énormément de points depuis quelques combats. J'ai l'impression que tu es inarrêtable dans la division. Et je voulais te demander, est-ce que tu as pourquoi en fait? Pourquoi tu es aussi bien là actuellement dans ta carrière?
Alors, pourquoi est-ce que je suis bien? Et je suis bien. Ça veut dire direct. Mais il y a plein de... Il y a plein de facteurs. Hein. C'est des bons sparring partners. Pour les citer, Ahmed Salamov qui est tout le temps là, qui devait d'ailleurs être dans mon coin et qui est tombé malade. Bon rétablissement à lui, le frérot est toujours là. Sinon, voilà, Eli, Ilias, Shakir, Muay Thai. J'étais vraiment des gros sparring partners et puis les entraîneurs. Hein. Rodrigo Alamos, tout ce qui est striking, hit coach Nicolas Haute. Le frangin qui est là, qui a beaucoup d'expérience sur les épaules. Et je suis entouré des gens très compétents et dans des conditions pareilles, tu peux que progresser. Et surtout que moi, j'ai envie de progresser. Voilà.
Très bien, merci.
Merci.
Salut Nassourdine, Alcina Bouelda pour le média Gensei du Percut.
Percut.
Lors du premier round, tu as été emmené une bonne partie du temps au sol. Est-ce que tu étais surpris et tu te disais quoi à ce moment-là et à la fin du premier round? Que t'a dit ton équipe? Puisqu'il y a eu un changement dans le deuxième et troisième.
Bien sûr, je me suis posé plein de questions à ce moment-là. J'ai fait une petite erreur debout et ensuite au sol, il a montré qu'il avait une vraie ceinture noire, très très solide. Il m'a bien bloqué au sol, c'était dur à s'en sortir. Et une fois que je suis sorti de là, tout ce que je voulais, c'est de prouver que je suis pas mauvais au sol, quoi. Ça pouvait paraître comme ça parce que au premier round, j'étais là, je bougeais pas au sol, et il fallait absolument que je prouve que voilà, ma ceinture marron, c'est une vraie ceinture. Et en même temps, il fallait que comme j'avais prévu de finir le combat avant la limite en striking, et j'avais ces deux choses-là qui m'ont un peu perturbé. Mais voilà, je suis content d'avoir montré tout ce que je vois au sol et debout.
Dans le troisième round, si je ne me trompe pas, à un moment, tu étais sur Allen et tu lui mettais des crochets à la tête et le public te poussait. Est-ce que tu l'as entendu, ça? Bien
sûr, ça me motivait énormément, énormément. À vrai dire, j'avais un coup de fatigue, baisse d'énergie dans ce combat inexplicable. Mais le public, il m'a remonté la motivation. Franchement, c'était ouf.
Félicitations.
Merci.
Good night, everybody.
Good.
Hey, what's up? I remember you, brother.
Hey, Mr. Money. Congratulations with the win, Renato. The first thing I want to ask you is, you called everyone that could be not so easy money, but I think it's time we say Renato Moicano, not so easy money. You agree with that?
100%. I was never easy money. The only time that I was easy money was against Korean Zombie, long time ago. He knocked me out on the first round. But since then, I changed completely my training camp, my division. I changed everything. So I don't want to be easy money.
Renato, that was a...
Yeah, if I could just translate, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Tout d'abord, Renato...
Bonsoir. First of all, bonsoir.
Good evening. Renato, on a dit vous étiez l'argent facile avant, mais maintenant on peut dire que vous êtes plus l'argent facile. Et Renato a dit que j'ai jamais été l'argent facile. Peut-être la seule fois, c'était il y a très longtemps quand j'étais mis KO. Mais depuis, j'ai changé le camp d'entraînement, mon régime d'entraînement et maintenant, voilà, je suis plus l'argent facile.
And Renato, if you look at your division, I saw Paddy Pimblett tweeted, "Let's go" at Renato Moicano, but you just beat someone who fought Dustin Poirier, someone in the top. Is there someone in the top you're looking at?
I think Dan Hooker is easy money.
Ok, so, est-ce qu'il y a quelqu'un dans le top 15 que vous regardez en particulier?
I'm sorry. I think Dan Hooker is easy money.
Je pense que...
Je pense que Dan Hooker is easy money.
Qu'il est
Easy l'argent.
L'argent facile.
And when are you, because if you look at the fight, you didn't take a lot of damage. You fought a great fight. When do you think you could be ready to fight again?
Vous n'avez pas pris beaucoup de coups pendant le combat. Quand vous pouvez être prêt pour recombattre, en fait?
I think as soon as possible.
Aussitôt que possible.
You've been vocal about one of the people you want to fight next, and that is Paddy Pimblett, potentially on The Ultimate Fighter. What's your message to him? Now's your chance to make that fight. What would you say to him?
Vous avez parlé beaucoup de mon adversaire potentiel, en Paddy Pimblett. C'est quoi votre message pour lui?
Don't accept the fight, or I will elbow your skull.
So if he doesn't accept the fight, you're going to elbow him?
No. I'm saying, please don't accept the fight. I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to elbow your skull. Skull.
Il dit veuillez ne pas accepter le combat parce que je vais vous donner un coup de coude dans le crâne.
And I know you've mentioned The Ultimate Fighter to build this fight, and I agree it'd be so exciting. Why do you think The Ultimate Fighter fits the bill for this?
Pourquoi vous pensez que le Ultimate Fighter c'est le in what sense?
What makes you want to fight Paddy Pimblett on The Ultimate Fighter?
Pourquoi vous voulez combattre Paddy Pimblett dans le Ultimate Fighter?
I think it's going to be a huge exposure, right? And right now, I am looking for exposure. I'm looking for cameras to because I have been UFC for 10 years this year. Will be 10 years, and 3 years ago, nobody know me, and I always work hard. I always have put in the work, but doesn't matter if you are the best fighter in the world and nobody knows. So I want more cameras, I want more people talking about my name in MMA, because that way I can bring more attention and I can make my case to fight for the belt eventually. Thank you, sir.
Parce qu'en fait, ça va me donner beaucoup plus de publicité. Ça fait 10 ans cette année que je suis en UFC. Il y a 3 ans, il n'y a personne qui me connaissait. J'ai toujours travaillé dur. Tu peux être un très bon combattant, mais les gens, ils ont besoin de connaître ton nom. Et je veux que les gens ils parlent de moi. Et comme ça, je vais avoir la possibilité de combattre pour la ceinture.
Another right here.
What's up, sir?
First off, congratulations. Second off, we have to talk about the suit, man. You look great.
Ok, tout d'abord, félicitations et deuxième, il faut parler de votre costume parce que.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, sir. I'm trying to build a character. I'm trying to build an image. Back in the day, I didn't used to do that, but people want to see that. People want to, you know, and it's just part of the business now.
En fait, j'essaie de me construire une image. Avant, je ne le faisais pas, mais les gens, ils veulent voir ça.
Let's talk about your fight now. Normally, you're a guy that starts off a bit slower, and BSD is somebody that starts off real fast. Now, it was switched up. You went at it quick. You caught him, went to the takedown, and basically finished the fight in round 1.
Normalement, vous êtes quelqu'un qui commence doucement, lentement, et BSD, il commence vite. Cette fois-ci, c'était l'inverse. Vous avez commencé très, très, très fort. Vous êtes allé pour le takedown et vous avez presque terminé le combat dans le premier round.
You know about MMA a lot because that was the game plan, you know. You see these three guys over there, they are my main team. Gabriel de Oliveira, Ivan de Oliveira, and Parrumpa. And these three guys, they were telling me all the time, don't be slow, don't stop, all the time. Every training session, they are talking about, you have to be ready because he's very explosive on the first round. You have to be, and I know because a couple fights ago, actually throughout my career, I always had trouble in the first round because I was too slow. So because of these three guys, I have been working on that. And if I can come to the fight like that and be ready since the beginning, nobody gonna stop me.
En fait, vous connaissez bien le UFC parce que ça, c'était en fait la stratégie. Les trois messieurs là-bas, c'est mon équipe. Eux, ils m'ont dit de ne pas être long, de ne pas s'arrêter. Chaque session d'entraînement, qu'il fallait que je sois prêt parce que lui, il est très explosif dans le premier round. Et dans ma carrière, j'ai toujours eu des soucis dans le premier round. Mais ces trois garçons, ils ont travaillé là-dessus. Et si je peux combattre comme ça, il n'y a personne qui va m'arrêter.
First off, thank you for the compliment. And I wanted to read out something John Anik said. So he's saying that your strength of schedule has been undeniable, and it was a very difficult path to get here. Your last loss was a loss on 4 days' notice, 25-minute war against Rafael dos Anjos. It seems like you've really turned around your career. How did this turnaround for you really start?
Ça a été un chemin très difficile pour vous jusqu'à là. Mais votre dernière défaite, c'était une défaite dans un combat pour laquelle vous aviez que 4 jours de préparation. Comment vous avez renversé vos fortunes, votre carrière?
Again, this guy know about MMA too because everybody's talking about, now you have 4 wins in a row. No, I have 6 wins in a row on the lightweight division. I only lost to Rafael dos Anjos on the 160. That's not lightweight, that's a catchweight. So go to the top 15 and see somebody with 6 wins and 5 finishes. You know, like people cannot deny me anymore. I'm 35 years old. I don't have much time. So now it's time to go in. I want to beat Dan Hooker or Paddy Pimblett or somebody else and fight for the title.
Tout le monde parle de mes 4 victoires successives, mais en fait c'est 6 dans les poids légers. J'ai seulement perdu dans les 160 à catchweight. Il faut aller dans le top 15 et voir s'il y a quelqu'un d'autre avec 6 victoires d'affilée, avec 5 finishes. J'ai 35 ans, j'ai plus beaucoup de temps. Je veux me battre pour la ceinture.
Yes, Renato, over here. Congratulations to your performance. First of all, Michael Chandler is out of the Conor McGregor bout. Don't you think you're in line for that fight?
McGregor, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he's fighting Manny Moicano.
Is McGregor an easy fight?
If you ask me that a couple years ago, I would say so. But to be honest, one of the fighters that I respect most in the game is McGregor because he completely changed the game. So I will pay my respect to him just because now he's almost a billionaire. So he can have, I don't know, 200 losses and he'll still be McGregor. So I don't know. He's not fighting anybody, I think. Of course, if they offer me, but I would not wait for fight McGregor because like Chandler, it's just a trap right now. I think McGregor makes more money outside fighting, so I don't think he wants to go to a cage to somebody that is ready to kill somebody for money, you know? I'm ready to kill somebody for money, so I don't think he wants that.
Ok, la question c'était par rapport à l'adversaire de Conor McGregor, il ne peut pas faire le combat. On a demandé si Renato il aimerait bien se combattre contre Conor. Il a dit, je pense pas que Conor McGregor va se battre contre Renato Moicano. Il a dit, mais c'est un des combattants que je respecte le plus parce qu'il a changé le jeu, changé la discipline complètement. Il est presque un milliardaire, alors il peut avoir 200 défaites et il sera toujours Conor McGregor. Je pense qu'il va pas se battre contre n'importe qui. Bien sûr, s'il me donne une offre, mais je pense que McGregor il gagne plus d'argent en dehors de l'octogone. Alors, je pense qu'il ne va pas rentrer dans la cage avec quelqu'un qui est prêt de tuer quelqu'un pour l'argent.
And one last for me then. The doctor ended the fight going into the third round, but it was because of the damage you gave him in the first round. Did you think it were over after the first round? That the doctor wouldn't allow him to go into the second?
Le médecin a arrêté le combat après le deuxième round, mais est-ce que vous avez pensé que, en fait, le médecin l'aurait arrêté le combat après le premier round?
I was very happy that the doctor stopped the fight because I don't get paid by rounds, you know, I get paid by wins. So as soon as I finish, it's better for me. But I think it was the right decision. His eyes were pretty bad.
Je suis très content que le médecin l'a arrêté parce que je ne suis pas payé par le round, mais par la victoire. Alors le plus vite que c'est terminé, c'est mieux pour moi, mais je pense que c'était la meilleure décision parce que ses yeux étaient assez amochés.
You talk a lot about money. Do you think the food is too expensive in France?
Vous parlez beaucoup d'argent. Est-ce que vous pensez que la nourriture est trop chère en France?
I think everything is expensive in France. I went to all the places were expensive, but guess what? Amazing food. Amazing food. I really like France, and I know you guys wanted Benoit Saint-Denis to be here, so I'm sorry, but I have to say I love the 1 week. I never been to Europe before, so it was a very humbling experience for me to be here in the old continent and to see such great things. And the food was one of the, even though I was eating little, I was going to places and trying a little bit everything. So yes, the food is expensive, but it's worth it.
I agree on both.
Oui, tout est très cher en France, mais la nourriture, c'est incroyable. J'aime vraiment la France. Je sais que vous auriez préféré que Benoît soit là. Je suis désolé. J'avais jamais été en Europe avant. Ça m'a rendu très humble. C'est une expérience qui m'a rendu humble d'être ici sur le vieux continent, de voir tellement de beaux choses et dans la nourriture. Je suis très content d'avoir eu la possibilité de goûter plusieurs choses.
Raheem Moicano.
What's up, brother?
Congratulations on a great performance, man. Before the fight, I got the chance to speak to you. I asked you if you explored Paris. You told me you went to the Louvre. You had a great time. You put on a dominant performance right here in Paris. After the fight, you get the mic and you say some political statements about France. I want to address the elephant in the room. What caused you to make those statements?
Je vous ai parlé avant le combat. Vous avez vous avez exploré Paris, vous avez vu le Louvre, vous étiez très dominant ici, et après le combat, vous avez fait des phrases politiques. Vous avez exprimé des choses politiques. Pourquoi?
I like history, and everybody knows French Revolution, 1789, was on Europe. We had the American Revolution on 1776, and they have their republic. But French, after they overthrew the monarchy, then they got Napoleon, and we know history, how that affected the whole Europe. So I have been reading this book, Democracy, the God That Failed Us, and Hans Hermann Hoppe is Austrian economic, and he's explained why people embrace the idea of democracy and think we cannot talk about other stuff. And I'm not telling let's stop with the democracy, but let's think about that, because the majority is not right all the time. Actually, the majority every time tends to have, like, democracy usually they have bad incentives. So we saw the politicians, what they do. So I just want people to realize that to save you, you have to do by yourself, like I did, like all the people that produces do. So my message, that was just a statement to make a shock on people and to say, nowadays, all the government are destroying our money. Doesn't matter how much money I make, if in America, in French, or in every other democracy, if they keep imprinting money and giving welfare. I don't want to be too political over here, but if you want to understand all this, start to read that kind of book. The last time I recommend the 6 lessons, right, Ludwig von Mises, and now I say try to read Hans Hermann Hoppe, Murray Rothbard, what has government done to our money, and everything that I'm saying here is leading to one thing: take money out of government so they cannot spend. And I know a lot of you guys don't like that, but my idea is one day who doesn't have Bitcoin is going to be in trouble because they're going to depend of government. I don't like government at all. So I think maybe it's necessary, but you have to keep government at bay. So that's why I was telling that to people. So if you have same ideas as me, go to the YouTube. I talk a lot about that. If you're not, that's okay. That's up to you. You know, I'm not telling you to stop democracy, but let's think about that, because especially in my country, Brazil, every political choice is being on the wrong side, in my opinion. So that's why I wanted to talk about that.
J'aime beaucoup l'histoire. Alors, il y avait la révolution ici en France, aux États-Unis, mais après en France, après la monarchie, il y avait Napoléon qui avait beaucoup d'impact sur l'Europe. J'ai lu, je suis en train de lire un livre, Democracy, the God That Failed Us, c'est ça? La démocratie, le Dieu qui nous a... c'est compliqué. Qui nous a fait du mal, on peut dire. Et ça explique, ça demande pourquoi les gens pensent que la démocratie c'est une bonne chose. Je ne suis pas en train de dire qu'on devrait arrêter la démocratie, mais peut-être on devrait y penser. La majorité n'a pas toujours raison. Si vous avez les mêmes idées que moi, allez sur mon chaîne YouTube. Sinon, ça c'est votre choix. En gros, c'est ça.
Asdina Buelda pour le média GSI du Percut. Comment tu as senti le niveau de Benoît Saint-Denis? Pour nous, c'est un des meilleurs combattants en France. Comment tu l'as senti dans la cage lors de ces 2 rounds, même si c'était pas évidemment son meilleur combat?
So what did you think of Benoît Saint-Denis' level in the cage tonight, even if it wasn't his best fight?
I will be honest with you. I really respect Benoît Saint-Denis, what he did on this division. I think he's very strong. I think he's young, but I think he needs to work on his game, because usually, like, what makes him dangerous is what make him vulnerable. Exactly. What makes him dangerous, what's making him vulnerable. Because he puts so much pressure. If he can touch you, he's going to break you. But if he cannot touch you, it's easy to see. And especially watching his fights and watch the way he stand up and his swipe fighters, always going 100%. I was talking to my coach. Once I got this guy down, he going to make everything to swipe me and he going to be gas. And that's what happened. So I invite Benoit Saint-Denis to come to our gym to train with us. And I can guarantee he's going to be another fighter. He needs to get out his comfort zone, in my opinion. But I think he's a great fighter, and I think he's still young. Like I say, the problem is they give him Dustin Poirier, Manny Moicano in a row. We are at a different level now. But I think eventually he's gonna get there.
Je respecte beaucoup Benoit Saint-Denis dans ce qu'il a fait dans cette division. C'est incroyable, il est très fort, il est jeune, mais il faut qu'il travaille. Ce qui lui rend dangereux, c'est aussi ce qui lui rend vulnérable. Il met beaucoup de pression. S'il peut te toucher, il va te casser. Par contre, s'il ne peut pas te toucher, c'est un peu plus facile. Quand je l'ai mis au sol, je savais qu'il allait trouver ça difficile. Alors je l'invite de venir avec nous, de s'entraîner avec nous, et je vous garantis qu'il va être un autre combattant.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, okay?